This optical illusion of consciousness is the root of almost all human psychological suffering. We confuse the observer with the noise being observed. To escape the anxiety, we have to separate the two. The Bhagavad Gita and the Sankhya philosophy map out two entirely separate entities: the material mind, which is designed to constantly mutate and react, and the true soul, which is unbreakable and entirely immune to change. Thousands of years ago, Patanjali defined exactly what happens when the mind's waves finally settle. He wrote, "Tada drashtus swarupe avastanam." Then the perceiver is situated in his own form. That perceiver is the Drashta, the Seer. Its swarupa, its true nature, is not a personality. It holds no opinions and carries no trana. It is pure, luminous intelligence acting strictly as a silent bystander. Your intellect, your memory, and your physical senses are incredibly sophisticated instruments. They gather data from the world and present it for review. But they are tools being used. They are not the entity using them. The 19th century philosopher Swami Vivekananda translated these concepts for the modern world, making a sharp, precise distinction between the physical instruments of perception and the pure awareness standing behind them. Because the seer is inherently detached, it is inherently at peace. The exhaustion, grief, and panic you feel belong strictly to peace. The obvious question is, why Yaratra? At other times, there is conformity with the mental modifications. This is the glitch in human consciousness. When the mind stuff is agitated, it forces the seer to conform to the exact shape of whatever thought or emotion is active in the brain. Vivekananda used a pure crystal to represent the transparent seer. Place an intense emotion next to it, and it reflects that red object. The seer falsely concludes, "I am red." Remove the object, the color vanishes. The crystal only reflected the environment. The Upanishads and the Avadhuta Gita apply this same logic to the physical body itself, using the metaphor of a clay jar resting in an open field. The space contained inside the jar is exactly the same as the space outside of it. The clay simply draws an arbitrary border, creating the illusion of a separate, isolated pocket of air. Smash the jar, and you realize the space was always continuous. Your physical body and your racing mind operate the exact same way. They construct a highly convincing optical illusion, trapping your awareness in a temporary container. The anxieties you feel are real experiences, but they are just reflections on the glass. They are not you. Locating this silent observer requires precision. The witness is not your ego. It is not metacognition, which is just a quieter, judgmental thought critiquing a louder thought. The true seer is the blank canvas of awareness that allows either thought to exist in the first place. Modern clinical therapies, like cognitive behavioral therapy, rely heavily on this exact mechanism. Teaching a patient to create distance between themselves and their panic is the foundation of modern mental health, a technique mapped out by yogic scholars millennia ago. In practice, psychological freedom is achieved by stretching out the timeline. You actively widen the microscopic pause between an emotion rising in the mind and your awareness reacting to it. You are the sky. The traumas, the daily frustrations, and the racing loops of anxiety are simply the weather passing through it. Storms can be violent, but they cannot damage the sky itself. You can start breaking the illusion with your vocabulary. Stop telling yourself, "I am angry." Instead, state the mechanical truth. I am observing anger. Try it right now. Whatever memory you are holding on to, whatever opinion or stress is sitting in your chest at this exact second, take one mental step back from it. Look at the thought as an object separate from yourself. When you strip away every passing mood, every social role you play, and every memory you carry, the space that remains is not empty. It is your untouchable, unbroken true self. You are the seer.